I found out my husband drained our savings. While I was standing in a grocery store holding a carton of milk I suddenly couldn't afford. At first, I thought it was a mistake, a banking error, a frozen card, some stupid technical problem that would be fixed in 5 minutes. But when I checked our account on my phone, my hands went cold. The balance wasn't low. It was almost gone. 10 years of saving, reduced to a number so small it felt like a joke. And the worst part? My husband had said nothing. Not a warning, not a conversation, not even a text. Just silence. And that silence told me everything. Because money can be replaced. Trust can't. When I married Daniel, I thought I married a careful man. He was calm, dependable, the kind of person who always paid bills on time and folded receipts into neat little squares. I was the emotional one. He was the steady one. At least, that's what I believed. We weren't rich, but we were disciplined. We skipped vacations. We drove our old cars until they rattled. We said no to expensive dinners and yes to secondhand furniture because we had a plan. A house, a child, a future that felt safe. Every month we added a little more to our savings, and every month I felt proud. It wasn't glamorous, but it was ours. Our effort, our sacrifices, our security. So when I stood in that grocery store parking lot, staring at my banking app like it was written in another language, I felt something crack inside me. Because people don't just lose savings overnight. Someone moves it. Someone chooses to. And deep down, I already knew who. I called Daniel 3 times. No answer. I texted him. Why is the savings account empty? Nothing. By the time I got home, my heart was pounding so hard, it felt like anger had its own heartbeat. He was already there, sitting at the kitchen table, not surprised, not confused, just sitting there, like he knew this moment was coming. I dropped my keys on the counter and asked, "What did you do?" He rubbed both hands over his face and looked down. That was when I knew it was worse than I imagined. "I can explain," he said. And I remember laughing, not because anything was funny, but because that sentence always comes right before your life changes. I didn't sit down. I didn't want comfort. I wanted truth. So I asked again. And this time, he said it. He had invested the money. All of it. Not with an advisor. Not with a plan we made together. On his own. Into some business opportunity his friend told him about. A guaranteed return. A once-in-a-lifetime chance. A short-term risk for long-term freedom. I just stared at him. Because I couldn't decide which part hurt more. The fact that he did it, or the fact that he thought those words would make it sound better. I asked him one question. How long have you known it was gone? He didn't answer right away. And that pause, that tiny, cowardly pause, hurt more than the missing money. 3 months, he whispered. 3 months. For 3 months, he had watched me make grocery lists based on sales, watched me skip buying new shoes because we should be careful, watched me talk about nursery ideas for the baby we were hoping to have next year. 3 months of pretending. 3 months of kissing me goodnight with a lie sitting in his mouth. I felt sick. Not dramatic movie sick, real sick. The kind where your body understands betrayal before your mind catches up. I leaned against the counter because suddenly I didn't trust my legs. You let me believe we were safe, I said. His eyes filled with tears. I thought I could fix it before you found out. There it was. The sentence selfish people use when they want credit for panic. Not honesty, not accountability, just panic. He hadn't told me because he respected me. He hadn't told me because he was afraid. Afraid of my reaction. Afraid of consequences. Afraid of becoming the bad guy. But he had already become one. He just wanted to delay the moment I realized it. That night, I slept in the guest room. Or at least, I lay there with my eyes open until morning. I kept replaying the years in my head. Every little sacrifice. We can't afford that. Every time I trusted him to handle the transfers because he's better with numbers. And under all that anger, there was grief. Because I wasn't only mourning the money, I was mourning the version of my marriage I thought I had. The one built on partnership. The one where ours actually meant ours. In the morning, Daniel stood at the door with coffee in his hands, like coffee could reach a place this broken. He said he was sorry. He said he made a mistake. He said he was ashamed. And maybe all of that was true. But sorry doesn't rebuild trust overnight. And shame doesn't magically return what was stolen from your future. I asked him if he understood what he really took. He started to say, "The money," and I said, "No, you took my ability to feel safe with you." That shut the room silent. Because finally, we weren't talking about dollars. We were talking about damage. In the weeks that followed, I opened my own account. I changed passwords. I met with a lawyer, not because I was sure I wanted a divorce, but because I had finally learned the difference between love and blind trust. Daniel begged for another chance. He promised therapy, transparency, repayment, change. And for the first time in my life, I didn't rush to comfort someone who hurt me. I let him sit in what he caused. That was new for me. Painful, but new. Some people hear stories like this and ask, "Why didn't you notice sooner?" But betrayal is rarely loud at first. Sometimes it looks like normal life. Sometimes it wears your husband's face. Sometimes it sits across from you at dinner and asks how your day was, while hiding the truth under the table. That's what makes it so devastating. Not just the lie, but how ordinary it looks before it breaks you. We're separated now. And no, I still don't have all the money back. Maybe I never will. But strangely, that's no longer the part that keeps me up at night. What stays with me is that moment in the grocery store. That sharp, humiliating moment when I realized the life I thought I was building had been quietly dismantled behind my back. Still, I survived it. I survived the shock. I survived the rage. I survived the collapse of something I once called home. And maybe that's the part I want someone out there to hear. If the person you trusted the most destroys the ground beneath your feet, it is not the end of your story. It is the end of an illusion. And sometimes, losing the illusion is the first step toward saving yourself.